Many ancient traditions, from the mystics of the East to the philosophers of the West, have shared a profound insight about the nature of our minds. They have observed, across centuries and cultures, that the ordinary mind, the one we use every day to think, plan, and worry, is not the full story of who we are. These traditions invite us to look deeper, to question the reality we take for granted, and to see beyond the surface of our thoughts and emotions. They tell us that our ordinary mind is limited, shaped by habits, beliefs, and the constant chatter of thoughts. It is a mind that is often restless, always seeking something more, and rarely satisfied with the present moment. This mind is like a lens that distorts reality, coloring our experiences with judgments, fears, and desires. We become so identified with this limited mind that we forget there is anything beyond it. It is trapped in a world of illusions, where we mistake our thoughts for reality and our emotions for truth. Like someone gazing at their reflection in a mirror, we become absorbed in the images and stories our mind creates, forgetting that they are just reflections, not the real thing. The city around us blurs into the background as we get lost in our inner world, disconnected from the richness of life unfolding in each moment. This is the state of most human beings. We move through crowded streets surrounded by others, yet often lost in our own thoughts. On the subway, in the office, or at home, our minds are elsewhere, replaying the past, worrying about the future, or daydreaming about what could be. We are physically present but mentally absent, caught in a web of mental activity that never seems to stop. We are lost in a dream of thought, drifting from one idea to the next, rarely aware of the present moment. Even when we sleep, our minds continue to spin stories in the form of dreams. In waking life, we daydream, imagining scenarios that may never happen, and miss the beauty of what is right in front of us. This dreamlike state keeps us from truly living. We chase after fleeting pleasures, believing that happiness lies in the next purchase, the next achievement, or the next moment of excitement. We fill our lives with distractions, shopping, entertainment, social gatherings, hoping to find satisfaction, yet the feeling is always temporary. The mind tells us, just one more thing and then you'll be happy, but the goalposts keep moving. We are consumed by worries and fears. This state brings suffering as we become entangled in anxiety about what might go wrong, regret over what has already happened, and self-doubt about our own worth. The mind creates problems that may not even exist, and we suffer as if they are real. This cycle of worry and fear can feel endless, leaving us feeling isolated and powerless. It keeps us from true happiness. We look for fulfillment outside ourselves, but the more we search, the more elusive it becomes. The sadness we feel is not just about our circumstances but about being disconnected from our own true nature. The playgrounds of our lives can feel empty, even when surrounded by opportunities for joy, because we are not truly present to experience them. This is not our true nature, though. Deep down, there is a part of us that knows there is more to life than this endless cycle of seeking and suffering. When we pause, place a hand on our heart, or gaze up at the sky with childlike wonder, we sense a deeper presence within us, a quiet awareness that is always there waiting to be noticed. Deep within us lies something more, a stillness, a peace, a sense of being that is untouched by the chaos of our thoughts. When we close our eyes and turn our attention inward, we can begin to sense this deeper dimension. It is not something we have to create, it is already present beneath the surface of our busy minds. There is a place of stillness and peace within each of us, like a tranquil lake at dawn, undisturbed by the winds of thought. When we rest in this inner stillness, we discover a sense of contentment that does not depend on external circumstances. It is a refuge we can return to, no matter what is happening in our lives. This is the awareness that observes our thoughts, the silent witness that is always present, no matter what the mind is doing. It is the part of us that can notice a thought without getting caught up in it, that can feel an emotion without being overwhelmed. This awareness is calm, clear, and compassionate, a steady presence in the midst of life's storms. It is untouched by the chaos of the mind, like a mountain peak rising above the clouds, or a forest undisturbed by the wind. No matter how turbulent our thoughts and emotions may be, this deeper awareness remains steady and unchanging. When we learn to rest in this awareness, we begin to see through the illusion of the mind and discover the peace and freedom that have always been our true nature. Throughout history, the ancient wisdom traditions have offered humanity a beacon of hope, a guiding light in times of confusion and suffering. These teachings, passed down through generations, remind us that no matter how lost we may feel, there is always a path forward, a way to rediscover our true selves. They invite us to look beyond the surface of our daily struggles and glimpse a deeper reality, one filled with possibility and renewal. At the heart of these traditions lies the promise of profound transformation. Just as the caterpillar surrenders to the mystery of change and emerges as a butterfly, so too are we invited to embrace our own metamorphosis. The rising sun over the mountains and the blooming lotus are symbols of this inner awakening, a reminder that growth often comes from the most challenging and unexpected places. Imagine waking each day not burdened by the weight of yesterday's worries, but with a sense of renewal and hope. The wisdom traditions teach that we can awaken from the dream of suffering, that we can open our eyes to a new way of being. Through practices of mindfulness, meditation, and self-inquiry, we learn to see the world and ourselves with fresh eyes, discovering peace where there was once turmoil. This journey is about liberation, freeing ourselves from the tyranny of the mind, from the endless cycle of negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. It is about breaking the invisible chains that hold us back and standing tall in the vastness of our own potential. When we quiet the mind and listen deeply, we find a wellspring of strength and serenity within. The promise of enlightenment, of salvation, of awakening, is not reserved for a select few. It is available to all who seek it with sincerity and openness. This radiant light is not something we must earn or achieve. It is our natural state, waiting to be uncovered. Each moment of stillness, each act of kindness brings us closer to this inner illumination. The journey out of darkness and into light is both universal and deeply personal. We all face moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, but these are not the end of our story. With courage and compassion, we can step out of the shadows and into the brilliance of our own being. Every sunrise is a reminder that no night lasts forever, and that hope is always on the horizon. True transformation is not about becoming someone else or chasing an idealized version of ourselves. It is about peeling away the layers of doubt and fear to reveal the essence that has always been there. When we look in the mirror with compassion, we begin to recognize our own inherent worth and beauty. This journey is about realizing who we truly are, beyond our roles, our stories, and our struggles. It is about reconnecting with the innocence and joy that reside at the core of our being. In moments of stillness, we remember that peace is not something to be found outside ourselves, but something to be uncovered within. Ultimately, the promise of transformation is about discovering the peace and joy that are our birthright. It is about living with an open heart, embracing each moment with gratitude, and sharing our light with the world. This is the journey we are all invited to take, a journey of awakening, of freedom, and of profound fulfillment. Enlightenment, awakening, salvation. These words, though they come from different traditions and cultures, all point to a single profound truth that lies at the heart of human experience. They are signposts, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. For centuries, seekers, philosophers, and mystics have used these words to describe a transformation that is possible for every human being. A shift that changes not only how we see the world but how we exist within it. They describe a shift in consciousness, a movement from the ordinary habitual patterns of thought and perception into a new way of being. This shift is not about acquiring new beliefs or accumulating knowledge, but about seeing with fresh eyes, awakening to a reality that has always been present, yet often overlooked. We move beyond the limitations of the mind, beyond the constant chatter, the worries, the judgments, and the stories we tell ourselves. In this awakening, we discover that our true nature is not confined by our thoughts or emotions. Instead, we find a spaciousness, a freedom, and a sense of possibility that was hidden beneath the surface of our everyday awareness. We experience a higher reality, one that is not separate from the world we know, but is revealed as the very essence of it. This reality is not distant or abstract. It is immediate, intimate, and alive. It is the world as it truly is, unfiltered by our preconceptions and fears. This reality is not separate from the world. It is not an escape from life, but a deeper immersion into it. We begin to notice the subtle beauty in the ordinary, the way sunlight dances on leaves, the gentle rhythm of our breath, the quiet presence of another being. Everything becomes more vivid, more meaningful, more real. It is the world seen with clear eyes, unclouded by the filters of past conditioning or future anxieties. In this clarity we recognize the interconnectedness of all things, the underlying harmony that weaves through every moment. We see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as integral parts of a vast living tapestry. It is life experienced in its fullness, with all its joys and sorrows, its challenges and wonders. We become more present, more open, more compassionate. The boundaries between ourselves and the world begin to dissolve, and we feel a sense of belonging that is both humbling and uplifting. In this state of awareness, suffering ceases, not because pain or difficulty disappear, but because we are no longer identified with them. We learn to witness our experiences with equanimity, to let go of resistance and to embrace life as it unfolds. We discover a new relationship with our thoughts and emotions. Instead of being swept away by them, we observe them with curiosity and kindness. We realize that we are not our thoughts, nor are we defined by our feelings. There is a deeper presence within us, a silent witness that remains untouched by the storms of the mind. We are no longer at the mercy of our thoughts and emotions. We find the courage to let go of what no longer serves us, to release old patterns and embrace new possibilities. This freedom brings a lightness, a sense of joy that is not dependent on external circumstances. We experience a deep peace, a profound connection to all things. In this awakened state, we recognize that we are part of something vast and beautiful, a living universe that is constantly unfolding. And in this recognition, we find our true home, our true self, and a love that knows no boundaries. Throughout history, enlightened beings have shown us the way. The Buddha, for instance, found freedom from suffering. He taught the path to liberation. Lao Tzu, a sage from ancient China, spoke of living in harmony with the Tao. This is the natural order of the universe. These teachers shared a common message. They taught that true happiness comes from within. It is not found in external circumstances. It is a state of being, not a state of having. The teachings of these masters were powerful, yet they were often misunderstood. People clung to their words but missed their essence. They created elaborate systems of belief. They formed religions and institutions. These structures often strayed from the original message. Instead of emphasizing direct experience, they focused on dogma. Instead of encouraging inner transformation, they demanded blind faith. Religions, meant to unite, sometimes divided. They became entangled with power and politics and, well, they lost sight of their spiritual core. Differences in belief led to conflict and division. The message of unity was often forgotten. Yet, the truth remained. It lived on in the hearts of those who sought it. It whispered through the ages, waiting to be rediscovered. In every generation there were those who kept the flame of wisdom alive. Mystic schools emerged within different traditions: Sufism within Islam, Zen within Buddhism, Kabbalah within Judaism. These paths emphasized direct experience. They offered practices to quiet the mind and awaken the heart. They understood that the truth cannot be grasped with the intellect alone. It must be felt, experienced, lived. These mystical paths share a common thread. They are not about believing in something. They are about becoming something. They are about embodying the truth in our lives. It is not enough to simply understand the teachings. We must live them. This is an ongoing process of self-discovery. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to let go of our limiting beliefs. The journey of awakening is open to everyone. The truth is not the property of any one religion or tradition. It lies within each of us, waiting to be discovered. It is a potential we all share. We all have the capacity for awakening. The path is clear: quiet the mind, open the heart, and awaken to the light within.